Good dogs.
The rainforests of North Queensland are a pretty special place to me, and the rest of the world obviously agrees, since most of it now forms the Wet Tropics World Heritage Area. My mates Charlie and Lewis have grown up here on the same property that's been in their family for 3 generations, and I'm lucky enough to be able to come and chase a few grunters around the hills with the boys. It keeps us all on pork and helps relieve a bit of the pressure that the feral pigs place on the ecosystem, and it's a rare trip that doesn't produce a hog or two.
Going to be heading down to an area where there's a few old tin mining camps. So often good for a decent boar down there. If we don't get one there, just keep walking until we do. This is a rainforest termite nest. You can see it's all smooth and clean on the side here. Should all sort of look rough and green like that. That's where a pig has been rubbing on it. You see it's sort of half dislodged from the ground too. Not all that fresh, but they're here. Dogs look like they've picked up a little bit of scent there. Jeez, that was quick. A good pig too. He's a good hog. He's a good boar. Oh, not that big in the body, but Reese will set a little rainforesty hooks on him. Beautiful. Good dogs, good dogs. Well, that was pretty quick and unexpected. Just coming up to one of the old ruined tin mining camps here. 30 metres below us in the creek. Mia let off a yap, and yeah, this old pig didn't go far. Mia just bailed him in the creek and the other dogs were there within seconds. Borry came in and grabbed hold, and that was all she wrote. Bloody nice little rainforest boar to start the morning off. It's about time. I've done a lot of running around for no reward, but yeah, got the reward this time. Good set of hooks. Good dogs. You can see what this pig was probably down here getting. These little blue quandongs. We can eat these too, but they have to be close to rotten before they're actually anything other than sour as hell. But they're edible. The pigs certainly think so. Not much on them. It's a really hard seed case, and if you can be bothered to crack it open, there's a tasty and edible little nut, little kernel right in the middle of them, which has a bit more food value than the fruit, but a bit harder to get at too. This was the old dunny. Pretty nice view, I reckon. You can think of worse ways to start your morning. Borry and Prickle is taking off like a pair of rockets. There could be another pig here yet. Ashley agrees. And Mia and Bindi. Here we go. The dogs are about 400 metres off now. Awesome. I love it when you come over a ridge, suddenly you can hear a bale. Oh, it's a beautiful sound. You can't hear any squealing, which means it's quite possibly a pretty good pig. Those pigs are aware of my presence now, trying to break. What have you got? What have you got? Oh well, that's boar number 2. If I had to guess what happened there, I'd say he was poking down the creek a little way behind his mate, and he was just far enough away that he didn't hear his mate being caught. Last one, this bloke sort of wandered down the creek, realised that all was not as it should be, and scarpered. And unfortunately for him, by that time, Borry and Prickle were onto him. But yeah, they did well. They had him penned here for probably a solid 10 minutes, I'd say. Yeah, I think we're lucky we're in the rainforest because the big fella's a bit hot. But yeah, no, not a bad sort of pig.
Well, that left dogs and Hunter suitably knackered. Not to say we didn't try for another pig on the way back to the homestead, but no more pigs hit the deck. The next day, Lewis and I had a big hike planned, up to a forest pocket that hasn't been visited in at least 20 years. Lewis and Charlie both are good men to travel the bush with, and I reckon there's not much they can't tell you about the local environment and history.
Fresher sign there, they're digging up the rocks in the creek, chasing the freshwater crabs most likely. You can see a little burrow under there. It's been smoothed out. That's a crab hole. That's what the pigs will be after in here this time of year. Can't get them during wet season obviously because it's covered in water. So Aussie bush foods are notoriously unpalatable. There's not many that have made it to the commercial level because like most uncultivated fruits, they're a little bit small, a little bit sour. These ones here are one of the exceptions. They're a lemon aspen. Do you know what family the lemon aspen's in, Lewis?
It's in the same family as citrus.
And tastes like it as well. They quite a delicious little lemony tart kind of a flavour. Yeah, there's at least a couple of commercial farms in the area that are growing them for flavouring, and they're bloody good. They're tart, but not overly so. And yeah, it's a good little bush refreshment, pretty much. You reckon, dog? There's another one. A Burdekin plum here. They're usually sour as buggery, but in this area I have found a couple of trees that are pretty decent. Yeah, it's worth knowing where these are because the pigs love them. But yeah, like a lot of these things, you got to wait until they're bloody near rotten before they're soft enough and sweet enough to eat. Otherwise, they're hard as hell. But it's not bad. Quite astringent, dries your mouth out.
Try that one.
That'll be a bit better
than that.
This one here, you're picking him up, you'd almost think he's rotten, but he's perfect. Really nice taste, not too sour. Yeah. Now it's this big beautiful looking tree here. It's got bloody dense wood. Real hard dense wood. They grow into nice impressive rainforest trees, these things. Old Burdekin plum. Or black plum I think they call them in the Northern Territory, but bloody good.
We'd failed to find any swine down in the gullies, so we started moving up in the world.
It's always a nice feeling when you get right to the top. See a pig bed there. Sows in particular like coming and having their young up in these grassy patches. Make a big nest in the grass and have their young in there all safe. But been a few moons since that bed was used.
We ended the day with no pork on the floor, but to be honest, I can think of worse ways to spend a day, so we headed back to camp. The next day, we were at it again, this time heading out with Charlie. They've jumped and they've gone about 60, 70, but up the next little creek there. They've hit the pig.
Might as well drive down.
Might as well.
They've got him bloody pinned. You're beauty. I'll just be just down below us now. We'll be able to bloody saunter down there like gentlemen. Yep. Oh, there's a bit of fresh dig in here. Rightio. Oh shit, they're over in the bloody next gully. Bugger them.
Gully goes up over here.
Yeah, no, I think you're right there. It looks pretty bloody steep off that face. Right. Now, they got him in the creek, but we want to bloody come up from above if possible, because they tend to
come down.
yeah. Good dogs. He's not a monster, he looks in good condition.
He made the mistake, he's not going that way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he was pretty well buggered. You can see he didn't know which way to go. He was going to try and break down the creek, but...
He was coming back steady.
Yeah. Excellent.
That don't look too bad at all, young fella.
He's not a bad sort of a pig, actually. He's a decent little rainforest hog, this one. He,
not a bad bit of bacon.
Yeah, good condition. So yeah, that was a find off the ute. It was Mia that jumped first, and they all stuck their nose down into the head of a gully, but they lost the wind pretty quickly. They persisted though. They came back up and they ran down the road a little bit, down the track a little bit, and yeah, they all disappeared off the side, and it wasn't too long before it was Bindi. Quickly followed by Asti, the cattle dog, that opened up and were on this bloke's tail. They chased him for, what do you reckon, probably 300, 400 metres at least before they pulled him up. And they got him up in this little gully behind us here, really bloody steep, and that was his downfall, trying to run up there. But pigs that go downhill get away from the dogs 9 times out of 10. The pigs that go uphill get caught by the dogs 9 times out of 10. So he zigged when he should have zagged, and that was his undoing. I got there, and the old 22 Magnum did its thing, put him down. But he's a nice little bit of bacon. He's only about 100 metres off the road, so I'm going to carry him right out, I think. And yeah, he'll make a good bit of pork. With some more pork on the ute to keep homestead and hunters supplied, we called it a day and headed home. A bloody good little trick, this one. I got a couple of pig legs hanging up in this tree for dog tucker. You always find a tree where there's plenty of these bloody little green ants. You can see them, because they're aggressive little sods. And you put it up there. There's not a single blowfly or fly egg to be seen on these bits of meat. And sitting up there in the shade with the wind blowing on it, and sort of cool down and dry out, and they'll actually keep pretty well for a couple of days like that. But these ants, they're essential. They're the ones that keep the blowflies from stinging it. Very good. And the trouble is then you got to just persuade the ants to get off it when you want to cut it up, which can be a little bit painful sometimes. So that ended the trip. I was bloody sad to go as always, so thanks to the boys. And you can bet I'll be up again before too many moons have passed. Cheers!